you, I think, nailed it during your training camp tour where you didn't think Caleb Williams looked great, but the reason that Caleb Williams didn't look great is because Ben Johnson put it all on him on day one and said, the cliche, right, is, hey, drink from the fire hose.
Yep.
We saw him against the Bills this past weekend, and my immediate, my jaw dropped to the floor. I thought he looked excellent.
Awesome.
I thought he was super decisive. And what's one thing that we didn't see from him at all? Now, granted, the touchdown was a Herculean individual effort by Zacchaeus that is probably not going to be a touchdown every single week, right? That said, I did not notice Caleb drifting. I did not notice Caleb doing too much. And I noticed that every single play, there was a sensible answer for him. There was a defense that was manipulated in a way that gave him a throw. And then when you combine that, and this is what the Chargers had been trying to find for Justin Herbert for so long, and I'm happy that Caleb Williams is getting it in year 2. When you combine that with his outlier arm strength, now you have an offense. Now you have something that we're talking about. And yes, Caleb Williams looked good in the preseason last year. I remember saying some of the similar things here, but it didn't look this good. And what I guess I'm trying to get at here is, what if I overlooked the fact that the Bears could be really freaking good this year, right? I mean,
it's interesting because, I think, and I don't know that anybody was really drilling down on Jared Goff in 21 and 22 the way they were, the way they have been with Caleb Williams, and that they had to find an offense that worked for Jared too back then. But Jared was a veteran quarterback. And my question with Ben was always, I think to one of Ben's mentors, which is Adam Gase, right?
Sure.
And people look at Adam Gase and laugh now, but he was a really freaking good offensive coach for a long time in the league. And I think one of his downfalls was, when he got to the Jets, trying to run the Peyton Manning offense for Sam Darnold, right? And Sam was just not ready to do that. And I think really the success of Sam Darnold more recently has been trying to find a way to get him to play fast again, right? Find a way to narrow things down on him, and then you build from that base. And so my question with Ben was, he was able to do a lot with Jared Goff as his quarterback in Detroit. So is he going to be able, when gun to your head, you're in the middle of a game and you're in the middle of a game week, whatever it is, and you've got to put together an offense, you got to call an offense a certain way. Are you going to have the discipline to run the offense that's right for Caleb Williams, even if it isn't the full breadth of what you're doing? And I think what we saw last night is yes, he is going to be able to find a way to do that and run the right offense for Caleb because of how fast Caleb was playing. And that's the key to me is, we know Caleb had a little ways to go, right? Developmentally, how fast is he playing? How fast is the ball out? Is he moving efficiently in the pocket? What you didn't see last night was very much of him running around and trying to make something happen.
Yes.
There was one play where he threw it away out to the sideline. But other than that, the ball was out on one hitch. The ball was out on two hitches. The ball, it was just, everything looked like it was within the context of what they were trying to do, and he was winning from the pocket. And I'll tell you, you put all of it together, then you look at Loveland. In Loveland, I think that's the other thing is whoa, you've got Kmet and Loveland now, and that's going to be a problem for defenses, right? On top of having a Dunze and more. And if the offensive line comes together the way they think it could, you've already got a pretty good defense. I don't know. You could start, and again, we have to temper this by saying that yes, the Bills rolled out a bunch of guys onto the field that aren't going to be on the field week 1 for them on defense, right? But
true.
I'd still say there was stuff you saw Caleb do that I think is translatable to the regular season.
I think, and again, this is one of those difficult spots where you try to battle off the sunniness of it all. But I walked away from this thinking, God, Luther Burden looks awesome. Braxton Jones is going to be fine at left tackle. And I'm all sunny. And of course, it's never going to totally be that way. Tyson Bagent looked good, by the way. Someone should just trade for him. I mean, he could be an NFL starting quarterback, and so could
Tyson Bagent and Tanner McKee are the two.
Yes, that was the other one. Tanner, like, why are we? And I get it that their teams want to hold on to these guys because you want a good backup quarterback, but both of these guys, I think, are going to end up being.
I mean, you have to give I think it's like you have to give real value for a team to walk away from that, especially if they don't have another option they're comfortable with. You know what I mean? Now the Bears have Case Keenum, so that gives them some flexibility, right?
Right.
So
I don't know, but I am one of those guys now that is, and it's crazy how we've been fooled by this before. I mean, I remember the RG3 Browns offense, right? Blew me away. And that was one of the worst teams in NFL history. But again, it's like, like Luther Burden looked pretty nasty with the ball in his hands. I mean, this whole team, I'm kind of bought in. And here's the thing. All I'm saying is,
I sort of wish I watched him last night. I let this creep into my head. I sort of wish they wound up with Travion Henderson to see what that would have looked like.
I know,
because they could have probably wound up. Now, I think they took Burden after Henderson, right? I think Burden. Was he before? They were
keep filibustering, and I will give keep filibustering, and I will give.
Okay, but the idea of Henderson playing like the Jahmyr Gibbs role for that offense, then how fun would that have been?
Travion Henderson went one pick before.
Luther Burden. So maybe they would have. I haven't looked into that, but because I feel like if they had that sort of running back, like that, like what Ben had in Detroit with Gibbs, like, man, that would be something, but obviously it didn't work out that way.